Wow, the Express newspaper has just published an exclusive article. It says the following: Tyson Fury sparks injury fears ahead of Deontay Wilder rematch during Conor McGregor night. Tyson Fury was at the T-Mobile Arena to support Conor McGregor. Tyson Fury sparked injury concerns as he arrived at the T-Mobile Arena for Conor McGregor's fight with Donald Cowboy Cerrone at UFC 246. The Gypsy King appeared to be limping as he arrived in the arena. It goes on. The heavyweight is in Las Vegas to train for his rematch with Deontay Wilder next month, and he decided to attend the UFC for 246 on Saturday night to give himself a break from the grueling training camp. There you go then, that's what they're reporting. Now, I obviously wasn't there, I haven't seen Fury, I wasn't there. These man, to be fair, listen, newspapers, they will report anything for reporting's sake, but I haven't seen, think about all the events we hear about, AJ versus Ruiz, etc, etc. In fact, this whole year, in the last year, how many events, and I've covered more or less all the big ones, how many of the big ones have we heard any defined newspaper reporting that someone's looking dodgy? Does that make sense? My point is, I'm talking about reputation and reputability. Is the Express reputable? Is the Express reputable? Now, in my opinion, like I said, if they were pumping out, oh, AJ looks like he's limping, Andy Ruiz looks like he's limping, if they were just doing it for clout, you'd think they'd be doing it on every big fight. However, we didn't hear about McGregor limping, we didn't hear about AJ limping, we haven't heard about Deontay Wilder limping, and I will say that I'm hoping that Fury goes in there, does what he said he's going to do, go in there, march forward and throw big right hands on Wilder. I hope he goes in there like he did against Steve Cunningham, like he was planning to do against David Big Toe Hay, and wail over Wilder and win the fight. That's what I hope in my heart. However, the other side, my head, as you man know, my head's been saying for the last 6 months, Tyson Fury's shot, and or I wasn't confident Tyson Fury would take the rematch against Wilder. I couldn't see what he was seeing in that fight. Bearing in mind, he went life and death with Otto Wallin. Bearing in mind, in the first fight, when he was less shot, arguably, he got knocked down twice. I couldn't see what he was seeing in that fight. Now, don't get me wrong, he signed the fight and whatnot, but we do know this wouldn't be the first time Tyson Fury has pulled out of a signed rematch. What do we know? When Tyson Fury was signed to fight Vlad in the rematch, that fight was signed and prepared for. What happened then? Tyson Fury pulled out with an injury. And not only me, many other people have been speculating that I'm not too sure this fight is going to happen, because it's happened before, and I can't see why Fury would really want to fight Wilder and not fight someone like AJ instead. But I'm hoping he proves me wrong. However, never mind what I believe, or never mind what no one else believes, the fact of the matter is, an independent $1 million organisation, The Express, has just reported that Tyson Fury is sparking injury fears because he was limping. Now, they were there, they saw it, and they're not people who have been saying everyone was limping. I'm hoping it's not true and whatnot, but what can I say? Don't bank on it. But in my heart of hearts, though, I do believe Fury will turn up. It will be shocking. And I think I said a few days ago, if he don't turn up, I'm done. That's it. There'll be no more. I'm done with him. I'm completely done. But then again, these cats, they're like YouTubers. The reason I'm doing this video is because they've said it, but still, people want views and want clout and whatnot. So it could be pure hot air. And in all reality, it probably is, if I'm honest. The way Fury's been talking about going in there, knocking Wilder out, the way that I can't see him pulling out now. I really can't. However, evidence that supports a potential pullout is the fact that they haven't done many press conferences. They've only given it a month to build up. The whole ticket situation, if you go on the ticket site, the cheapest tickets are like $1,000. Are you serious? Well, that doesn't make no sense, does it? Bearing in mind, Mayweather Pacquiao tickets weren't that expensive. The cheapest tickets in the nosebleeds are literally $1,000. That's what they were starting at. So when you add all these little things together which don't make no sense, wait there, you're not doing press conferences. Wait there, you've only announcing it a month before. Normally these kind of fights build for 3 months before, don't they? You look at McGregor, look at AJ versus Ruiz. That built for like 5 months or something, didn't it? So all of these little dimply bits, when you put them all together, in my opinion, it could be kind of strategy, like a double dip strategy, where they build the fight and then someone pulls out and then they reset the date for something like May or something, so they get a double dip of excitement. Does that make sense? They build the first one and then pull it and then do another one. That could explain why they haven't been so keen on doing so many press conferences and whatnot. I would have thought for this rematch, them talking about 2 million pay-per-view homes, why haven't they come to the UK? Why haven't they come to like LA press tour and whatnot? I'm pretty sure they even did a press tour for the first one. So why would you do a press tour for the first one and then for the bigger one, not even barely turn up for one press conference? I don't think it's a good look in my opinion. But then again, maybe they're just bad business people. But I can't understand it. If you knew, or they've been talking about fighting the rematch for the last year, so why wouldn't they have announced it back in November? Bearing in mind, neither fighter, Wilder last fought in, when was it? Wilder last fought in November actually, didn't he? Yeah, so that's probably what it was. So yeah, let me correct that. To be fair, Wilder did just fight in November. So maybe, obviously, he fought end of November. Then a few weeks later, it kind of got... So maybe that was what it was. Maybe that's why. The fact Wilder fought pretty late. But still, who knows? Maybe they're happy to do it on 4 weeks' notice and just rock up. But, like I said, the fact these newspapers are mentioning it, I do think it certainly increases that likelihood that there could be something coming down the pipeline, a pull-out. But then again, hopefully not. Hopefully Fury goes in there and gives this Wilder a good hiding, a proper hiding. Goes in there, 280 pounds of inside fightingness, and weighs all over him. Yeah, I've spoken to Wilder's midsection. It told me, oh man, why being man? I don't want Tyson Fury to bully me. Wilder's midsection is shaking at the thoughts of Wilder weighing all over it. Wilder's core, yeah, when we talk about the core, we talk about the lower back. We talk about the abdominal muscles. Wilder's core can't take 280 pounds weighing on it. Do you understand that? And the thing is as well, Fury ain't just going to be weighing on Wilder's midsection. Fury ain't just going to be weighing on Wilder's skinny little core. He's going to be banging deadly shots into it as well. Well, they're not deadly shots, but he's going to be banging pillow-fisted shots into it. And people can sit there and laugh at Fury. Oh yeah, Fury's pillow-fisted. Listen, Wilder ain't got no chin, yeah? Wilder ain't, we already know Wilder's been knocked out. People think fighters get knocked out by chin shots. Wilder has been knocked out from the vibrate. Wilder got hit in the belly, yeah? Got hit in the belly and he got knocked out from that. The sheer vibrations, his chin's that fluffy, his chin's that flimsy. He got hit in the belly and he knocked him out, yeah? The vibrations travelled up from his belly, went straight to his chin and he's not got knocked out. Yeah, he can't hold a shot, no doubt. I'm telling you now, Wilder, he don't really want it. But then again, it's up to Fury. If this newspaper report is not correct and Fury does go in there, in my opinion, it's in his hands. He's talking about how, oh, I know I can't win the fight on the cards, and it's all well and good saying that, but you got to go in there and do it. You got to go in there for the first time in. And to be fair, I do know Fury can do it because he used to be that kind of fighter. Back at the start of his career, he was this gritty fighter, and of course, you can't be that kind of fighter against everyone. You can't stand and trade against people like Chisora, but Wilder, he ain't no prolific, he ain't no Chisora on the inside. He ain't no big hooker, he ain't no big uppercut, he ain't no big combination puncher. So therefore, you got to mix it up. You can't outbox everyone. And I hate to keep banging on about it, but the fact of the matter is, do you remember when he fought Steve S.S. Cunningham, someone very similar to Wilder? What happened in that fight? He tried to outbox Cunningham, and he got knocked on his ass from one big shot. What do we know? Who's like that? Who do you know is looking for one big shot? Who do you know is looking to box with you and then land one big shot? Oh, Wilder. What happened then? Fury was getting beat up by trying to box in. Then he switched to gypsy mode. Chin down, hands up, and started weighing all over him. And he couldn't take it. After the fight, Steve S.S. Cunningham was throwing his toys at the pram, talking about, oh man, I mean, it wasn't fair, I'm only small, and
Tyson Fury's weighing all over me, and oh man, why did Tyson Fury do me like this?
Proper crying, proper sour. He was sour that he got weighed all over. And that's what he does to you. When someone comes in the ring, yeah, 280 pounds, 6'9" of inside fightingness, and they just start weighing all over you, it makes you feel like you're being cheated, because it's almost like a cheat code. Because you can't, as a smaller man, you can't do nothing about it. So it almost feels unfair. Oh, it's not fair that he's 6'9". It's not fair that he's 280 pounds of inside fightingness. Why am I small and skinny and got no legs for? It makes you kind of mad. It makes you mad at God for not giving you them attributes. And that's why Wilder fears it. He fears that. That's one thing he can't deal with. He can't deal with a big man standing on top of him and weighing all over him. That's the very bottom line. That's why he didn't ever. Tell me a fighter who's ever really stuck it on Wilder. Tell me one. Tell me one fighter who's held their feet and got on top of him. But Mace Laverne ain't got no power, ain't got no speed, ain't got no combinations, and it ain't no good. And also wasn't a big man, 6'2", tiny. But even he half tried it and ended up going 12 rounds with Wilder. See what I mean? Someone like, even like Chisora isn't the biggest, but still, he's got the kind of style. Chisora will deal with Wilder. Fury will deal with Wilder if he comes in there and does what he said he's going to do. If he goes in there and starts trying to be Ben Davidson 2.0, he's getting knocked out. Be under no illusions now. I hear people saying, Hatman saying, oh yeah, oh you man, people are stupid saying that Fury needs to go forward and Fury needs to run around the place. That's up to you, man, yeah? We've already seen how that story ends. Fury going in there, running around the place, gets knocked out. It's really not rocket science. What do you think Wilder's sitting there at night, worrying about Fury running around the place? Are you joking? Do you really think, seriously, think about it for a second. Do you think Wilder, what do you think Wilder thinks about at night, late at night, when everyone's asleep in his house and it's quiet? What do you think's going through Wilder's mind? I'll tell you what's not going through his mind. It's not thinking of Fury sitting on the outside fainting and nicking a jab in, or nicking the odd jab in. That's not what's scaring him. What's scaring him is seeing a 280-pound man, 6'9", in a high guard. His right hand's bouncing off, not doing nothing. He can't land the right hand because Fury's guard's too high and too tight. That's what has Wilder scared. Wait there, he has them, you know them dreams here where you're trying to fight someone and you can't get no power. You just can't hurt them. That's what Wilder fears. He fears a man in there who's got a guard high and tight and he just can't get his right hand off. That one thing he's been relying on his whole career ain't working. And not only that, not only is his only defence not working, also he's getting bullied all around the ring. He's getting bashed to the body. He's getting hit upside his head. That's what he don't want. So bear that in mind when people are sitting there saying, "Oh, Fury needs to box and Fury needs to outbox him." That's not going to scare Wilder. Wilder ain't worrying about Fury outboxing him, because even if he were successful doing that, which he won't be, because at some point he's going to catch her. Even if you are, who can't come back from a 12-round Fury decision loss? Look at Vlad, for example. He was begging for the rematch, was he not? Wilder will not be begging for the rematch if Fury goes in there and pulls off a win because he bashed Wilder all around the ring, Steve Cunningham style. That's how he's getting done. I'm telling you now. If Fury executes the game plan, Wilder is going to get peeled off the canvas after about 11 rounds. His little legs will just give way. They're not made to be holding. They're not designed to hold weight up. Yeah. Anyway, I hope these rumours aren't true, but obviously your boy the YBs are reporting Don on it, so I had to report the news on that.